Birdie's in my chair, so I cannot record. Mustn't disturb him. Hi. Today we're gonna be looking at my first ever graphic design portfolio. Is that better? That's terrible. Now, basically what this portfolio is, at the school that I went to, you go through like your first foundations year, and then you have to apply to get into the graphic design program there. So we're gonna go through that portfolio, which was like all of the graphic design work that I did that semester. But then I will also read you the application summary or whatever. I don't even know what I had to write. I had to write like a statement. We're getting right into it. For these like first kind of like projects that you have when you're first starting out, they're kind of like basic prompts to get you to practice the software and things like that. So this is the first one. Oxymoron. I think we had to do like black and white and color, so that's why that's up there. But oh god, I'm like just remembering these. I don't think I had to write a statement for any of the projects, just like for my application. So this one, oxymoron, is civil war. So the dove is symbolic of civil, and it's flying out of the tank, which is war. I will say, like, this is like such early practice in Photoshop. Like, this is all Photoshop, obviously, but like you can even see, like, I don't know, like my masking was not that clean. I'm trying to fix my lighting, but it sucks, so apologies. Also, this keeps focusing on my shoulder and not my face. So I wouldn't say this is that bad. Like, it's a very obvious first project type of exercise. But I do remember that we had to cut these out, or like print them out and put them up on mat board, which is like a poster board, like hard. And I just remember this paper, which is like the paper that is literally right behind me. We always use the Epson paper. It was so not sensitive is the word, but like if you touched it, like there were fingerprints all over this black ink, which I was like scared that was gonna fail me. But obviously that's not my fault.
What's that? What's that, brother?
So this is the other one. I just want to preface with this was 2017. So it's like very obvious who this person is. And also like it was very early, not very early, but in the earlier years of Trump. So this is the color version. And obviously you can guess, it is Butthead. So the butt as a head. I was just having fun. That's all I can say. Just getting down into the actual technical skill of it. The colors are weird. Also, like, we found a lot of photos on Google at the time. I think when you're in school, you like legally can kind of do that because it's just like for learning. But first of all, how did I find this butt pic? I don't even know. Did I search like butt on Google? Like, well, I'm just thinking about this, but my professor loved it. He was like super political, so he was just cracking up that, and also was really helpful in like making it orange and adding the hair and everything like that. I think it's kind of funny. Like, just think about my younger self doing this. Okay, this was a phobia project. I think this was maybe like a year after being vegan. If you look through my body of design work, there's a lot of vegan references. This might be the first one. I don't know if I did any before that, but yes, carnophobia. Now, maybe I'll get canceled by the vegans for this one, but my professor was really persuasive. He was like, first of all, this professor is really intense, you know, like you're really working for it. I mean, the program itself was intense. He was basically like, you should go to the grocery store, get, I guess, like cheesesteak meat. I don't know. I never cooked or made meat for myself other than like frozen Tyson chicken nuggets. So I didn't know what kind of like meat to get, you know? So I just got this meat and I bought these cookie cutters, these letter cookie cutters. And I was like, it was disgusting. On a cutting board. And I'm thinking back now, and I didn't know like the sanitary rules with meat. Especially like beef, right? Is that like a... Anyway, so I was like taking these cookie cutters and I had this little like paring knife and just like around the cookie cutters to get this. Kind of, cause like of course you can Photoshop it, but like, you know, nothing is as real as the real thing. And also I was like such a noob, so I didn't have the skills to Photoshop it to look like meat like this. And I did photograph it on like butcher paper, but it just wasn't where it was supposed to be. Like I might have that file somewhere if I can find it. Oh yes, this is it. So this is so it wasn't butcher paper, it was wax paper. So, but I took it with this. Ooh, ew, look at the juices. Disgusting. So this was the original. I don't know if I had cut out the middle. Ew, I don't know. Just looking at this is grossing me out. Yeah, so he had me kind of go back in, cut the letters out, and add the butcher paper behind it, and the little like blood splatters. Like all of these, it's not that I necessarily like or dislike them. It's just like funny to think about where I was in my journey, like in design, and I was just having fun. Experimenting, trying different things. So I can't hate on it. It is a little corny. I learned a lot about Photoshop and just also like what you have to do to kind of get the result that you want, even if it goes against your morals and your dietary restrictions. I really got political this semester. This was probably the same professor too, so he really encouraged us to get political and like share our opinions, which I'm not particularly used to or comfortable with. But it was just like, this was the prompt, socio-political poster. People did all different things. You know, like I said, this was peak Trump era, so I was highly focused on women's rights and things like that. So that was kind of, and also that was like the main thing that resonated with me or like affected me. So yeah, this is this. It's just a uterus that is handcuffed. And on the handcuff are the presidential seal, which, I mean, I think kind of shows my lack of political knowledge at the time. Like, I didn't really pay attention in my, like, government classes in high school, and so, but regardless, like, the president was saying crazy shit about, like, women and threatening our rights at the time, so it's just funny. So I think this was I made the shapes in Illustrator, and then I brought it into Photoshop and just like burned and dodged the shadows in and everything like that. Honestly, don't hate this. I remember I had this in my portfolio, you know, I was like applying for internships and stuff, and like a family friend was like supposed to maybe like get me a job, and I guess it was like more conservative. I don't know where, I don't even know, an internship or something, and they were like conservative, so he was like, oh, you might want to take this down, and I did. With these posters too, it's always like, you know, state of fact or like a little factoid underneath it to kind of give more context into what the poster's supposed to be about. Yeah, so I just played with a lot of texture and shadow, and you can already see my growth, like just from the past 3 in making an image, like making a full image and like getting into the details of it. This is so funny. This is my first ever branding project. And honestly, it was really freaking fun, and I think it was like my gateway into like, wow, I really like branding. I like that you can kind of like make this system and apply it across so many different pieces of collateral and make it be this cohesive like family of art, but also like functional things. This was the logo. I mean, we can critique the logo, nitpick, and explain what I would do different, which I will do. But I'm just saying, like, my first ever logo, it's cute. Like, I'm kind of proud of it. Like, Psycho Baby, it's like a baby clothing brand that's like punk, like metal, you know, like, so we have a barbed wire diaper with ginormous safety pins. I think I have a color version too. Oh yes. Oh my god. This is crazy to see this. So nowadays in my illustration, and mostly illustration, I don't usually do it in like design, day-to-day design stuff, but in my illustration, I always do this offset shift, I guess offset, yeah, that's the word, like off register, you know, where there's like this kind of like space that's kind of shifted over because, you know, in printing it's not always perfect, and I kind of love that imperfection, and this is where it started, and this is the professor that even taught me about this. I'm so grateful for him. Shout out to Scott. I don't think he'll ever watch this, but hey Scott. Just kind of finding like love in the little details, a little crispiness, a little of just that slight shift over, and it creates this like gorgeous negative space. So yeah, this is the full color. Oh my god. Oh, well, I guess we can get into the critiquing. I mean, just in terms of it being a logo, I think the details are too small. Do the zoom test. Like, is that gonna read as a diaper when it's super small? Like, say like an Instagram icon or something. No, it kind of looks like, I don't even know, like a wombat, or I don't even know what, some kind of like long-snouted animal. So definitely like thicken up the stroke. I think this, the way that this is like surrounding the logo, I don't hate it, but it just feels maybe a little, why is it to the left, you know? Like, what is the reasoning behind that? And same thing again, like any text in the logo is you're gonna get lost when you scale it down. And so just thicken up the stroke really, maybe get rid of some detail, but yeah. So onto the website. This is my first ever website. I mean, aside from like Tumblr, like MySpace, you know, you could do some minor editing and layout in there, but this is like actual site design, which is just so crazy to look at. Like, and also when you're so early in the stages, the stock photography that is used, or like I said, we use Google. So it's just like this photo, oh my god, just like the logo on the butt. I just don't understand that. And just the spacing is like unrefined, so to speak. And the nav, I mean, it's not bad, but I also, like, unpopular opinion maybe, I feel like so many websites, especially like retail or e-commerce sites, have the same layout. It's like grids, columns, so it's not bad. Oh, and then this is the mobile one, which is like basically the exact same, but the spacing's just responsive. So I just wanted to show you, because this wasn't included in the portfolio PDF, but this is the collateral that I made. A bag, a box, tissue paper, business card, and a onesie. So, yeah. Okay, let me just, before we get into this next one, let me just set it up. I definitely have it somewhere, and maybe I could put like a picture of it or the video of it when I edit this, but this is a book of letter forms. And I think we had to choose one letter form, but have like a similar theme across all of them. So mine was R is for rock and roll. So I did all bands that start with R. The thing with this too is that we were also practicing like style and technique and all that stuff. So each page, you kind of try to mimic a different style from a different illustrator or designer or whatever. And I wish I had the illustrator's name to give credit to, because I just don't remember, honestly. I could probably find it maybe, but yeah, so getting right into it. At the time, the Red Hot Chili Peppers were my number one. They were my favorite band. I had quite an obsession. So of course they had to be number one in the rock and roll letter form book. I went quite literal with this one, found some peppers, put them in the shape of an R. But they're cold, they're chilly, they have scarves on, and they're shivering. So I think this is cute. I remember actually like sketching this in my sketchbook and scanning it in, or I don't know if I took a photo or whatever, but just editing and adding the color in and the texture in after. Just a fun thing. So this is ours for Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin. Yeah, I just sketched him with a pencil. Like that's where I came from, is just like doing things by hand and then bringing it in. I think I just added in the watercolor texture and the colors after. So don't hate this one. This next one is Real Big Fish. You know, I think they're like ska or something. Yeah, this is cute. I don't know, it's like modern, contemporary, minimalist. I think it gets the point across too, so I don't hate it. Very simple, and also like very simple Photoshop work too, so why not? And then this one, oh my god, rusted root. You know rusted root. Send me on my way. On my way. On my way. So basically what I did is I found like a photo of roots and then a photo of rust, and basically masked the rust to have the shape of the roots. Also masked around the R so that the roots were kind of like intertwining with the R, because yeah, like the R was the main part of it, so I wanted to make sure I incorporated that in some way. Lots of drop shadows. Oof, I was really liberal with the drop shadows at the time. I just thought it was like such a fun little thing you can add. Don't hate this either. Good song. Oh, R is for Roger Waters, Pink Floyd. So with this one, I was like playing with the wall. So obviously you have the bricks behind it, and then I maybe like took a P in like one of the pink and then turned that into the R. And just did this kind of like silhouette illustration of Roger to be this like flat thing, very vectors thing. Honestly, I thought I would react worse to these. I really did. I thought it'd be cringing, but honestly, I'm proud of myself. Like, that's kind of sick, especially for being like one of my first ever design projects. This one too. What the hell? R is for Radiohead. Again, another head thing. Radiohead, butthead. This was like my first ever time getting into like vectors. Obviously you can see like if we zoom in, you know, this could be cleaner. Why are the shadows like this? I don't know. I was just really not sure how to make the shapes as much as I could now. So but it's so cute. Like I think the colors are really great. You get the point across. It's Radiohead. I like this one too. And I think this is the last one. Oh, no. So this is R is for Ringo Starr. Honestly, image trace. I think this thing is mostly image trace. And I just removed the other Beatles. Again, I was very novice in the technology, so I didn't know how to best do things. So you can kind of see like things are like, wow, what is this? Like it looks like he's holding a gun or something. And then like, what is this? Like, where is that from the photo? But anyway, you get the point. Like, this is Ringo Starr, arguably my favorite Beatle. I don't know if he's been canceled or anything, but I think he's funny. And then the R's replace the other Beatles, so. And then Abbey Road, of course, classic. So the next one is the last one for this project, and R is for Ramones. I think it's kind of clear, like, have their emblem and their faces all R. Just everything is R. I don't even know, like, did I steal this? Did I make this? I honestly probably stole this and maybe put the faces in there. I loved image trace. I feel like if you're just getting into Illustrator, that's probably one of the first like things that you use is image trace, you know, and there are definitely ways that you can like get better with image trace. But yeah, I don't hate this either. Like overall, I think that book like was really great, and I don't know, I like kind of grew up on rock and roll. My dad was like a big rock and roll guy, and so I was just really proud. I felt like it like showed who I was. Here is a video of this rock and roll book. Yeah, just flipping through it shows the examples that we kind of based it off of next to our illustration, which is cool to see side by side and how closely it matches to the original artist. This was another pain in the ass print project. And I think I maybe printed this 6 times and went through so much Epson paper. Sponsor me, Epson, please. So that was like the portfolio all together, which kind of cute. I mean, the early ones could be better. But let's get into this application. What is it even called? Statement. In a brief statement, explain why you want to major in graphic design. I want to major in graphic design because there are endless opportunities. After taking both graphic design courses this semester, it's obvious that I just have barely scratched the surface into the design world. I still feel that way. 4 years later, this was 4 years ago. Or no, I'm just kidding. This was like, I graduated 4 years ago, so this must have been 7 years ago. Though I've learned so much in my classes this semester, I want to learn even more, explore possibilities, and continue to create dynamic pieces. Continue, girly. I know that graphic design is something I want to pursue because I think about it all the time now, as opposed to other areas of study or creativity. Sometimes I even often have panic dreams about messing up a file and wake up thinking, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z. I remember writing this. Aside from my minor panic dreams, graphic design is something that makes me genuinely happy and excited to actually do homework. That's so cute. From looking at my professor's awesome pieces to mimicking techniques of other designers, I'm inspired and excited to see what my potential can reach. Even though the precedence of designers is intimidating, I want to challenge myself and create my best work, and I believe that majoring in graphic design will help me do that. Oh my god, that's cute. It's honestly sweet, especially if I think about it being someone else. Like when it's myself, obviously you can cringe, but like if that's someone else, I'm like, oh, they're so excited, they're so pure, you know? Obviously, I got accepted into the program. This was the application. I wonder like when I made this. I think I got accepted in like December of 2017 or something. Yeah, it feels like a long time ago, but I'm also trying not to cringe at who I am or who I was, and so I'm really proud of myself and how far I've come, and the experience I had in that program. I'm just so grateful for. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you didn't think my first design portfolio was too cringy, but thanks for watching anyway. All right, bye.